Beautiful Boro bananas. Beautiful. I googled this, guys. The berries are edible, but lots of sweet, sweet, sweet tomatoes. Hey guys, back at Farmer Pat here. It's been a while since we did a harvest video together. I've been harvesting as I go along, and I say, you know what, let me show you guys what's happening in the garden, and we can do a little bit of harvesting along the way. So let's get started. And today is November 18th, 2025, and yes, we're still harvesting. That's a wonderful thing about growing your food, guys. I harvest like every day, every single day. Anyway, let's get started. All right, let's start off. First harvest is this Boro banana that we've been eating off literally, guys, for months. But you see, they're starting to turn ripe now. So I don't want the squirrels to get to it. I love me some Boro, or Jamaica call it frog banana. I love it because not only can you eat it ripe, but it's even better eating as a plantain, eating like where you fry it. Oops. Uh-oh. Why do I always drop my stuff? Beautiful Boro bananas. Beautiful. Look at them. Yes, and I tell you guys, these are one of my favorite bananas now that I know how to use them properly. You can eat them ripe, but to me, they are best when you fry them. So you wait until they get ripe and then you fry them and treat them like plantain. Same way you'll fry plantain or you boil plantain, but I love it fried. You can roast it. Really, really delicious. What I love about it, some plantains, when you fry it, they get mushy. This, when you fry this like plantain, they stay firm, but they're very, very sweet. You can also, of course, fry them green. And I think I'm not sure if it's Puerto Rico. If any Puerto Ricans are listening, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe in Puerto Rico, or maybe it's Dominican Republic, they call it plantain because they eat it like plantain. They make their tostones, and they make their plantain dishes with the Boro bananas. So in Jamaica, we also call it froggy banana. So I know a lot of Jamaicans are out there. You tell me, how do you use your froggy bananas or your Boro bananas? Let me know, guys. But this is it. This is our first harvest. We're gonna slowly just walk through the garden and we'll see what there is to harvest. I'll stop and show you what there is to harvest or what's fruiting right now. So speaking of fruiting, this is my tangerine tree. First year fruiting, and it's almost ready. You guys told me a couple weeks ago that it wasn't quite ready yet. It is getting a little bit more orange, but since the insects are leaving it, I am gonna leave this a little bit longer. You guys tell me, is it ready yet, or do I still have to wait? So we're gonna leave that one on. Right now, everything kind of looks like a jungle, guys, but we still have things fruiting. Like this is my very special dwarf bananas. They are my height, and this isn't ready to harvest, but we have a new bunch of bananas here. These bananas are really, really good. They only grow to, you see how small they are? They're pretty small. Of course, these are still young, but when they're fully ripened, I can eat like half a dozen of these bananas. They're so sweet and creamy, and they're small, so really nice to eat. That little rascal in my papaya tree. Anyway, he's probably just on his way up to eat some of those nuts. He's been leaving my papayas alone, so I won't bug him today. Him and his buddies been hanging around, right? All right, so let's go this way. Nothing, guys. I didn't get any. I haven't had June plum in months. My June plum had a really bad case of scale, and it went totally unnoticed. The scale were literally lying flat against the bark, and it wasn't until I had to cut everything back and treat it, and now I have some blossoms coming out. But we're going into winter, so I'm not gonna eat these till next year. But look at this. Look at this, guys. You can see some more here, some scale. Oh, yeah, look at that. See, look, it's flat. Let me see if I can zoom in. Guys, that scale, flat against the bark. Oh, gross. I need to spray this with neem oil. But I just literally just take my hand and just rub against the bark because they just kind of blend in with the bark, guys. Oh, look at that. You know, there's life. There's still life, and it'll be fine. All right, so let's see what else we have. Let's see what else we have in our garden. Lots of papayas everywhere, guys. That papaya, this is now the papaya season. Everywhere, all my papaya trees are loaded with papaya. You know what I harvested this morning? Oops. What I've been harvesting, and it's, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that this is so delicious and so beneficial. And I have this in my garden for all this time, and I just didn't use it. So wait, as a matter of fact, it has some berries on it. Let's try some berries. I've never tried the berries before. So guys, this is my curry leaf plant. And you know, we in the islands, we eat a lot of curry. Indians also eat a lot of curry. Caribbean people will love our curry chicken or curry goat. This is the actual curry leaf plant, but it is not the same curry leaf. It's not the curry that we eat in Jamaica. I got the plant, and look at it now, guys. It's loaded with berries. I got the plant, and somebody gave it to me as a gift. So I think I tried it once. I came on and tasted the leaves. The leaves have a very, very strong flavor, and I'm like, oh, not sure how to cook this. So it's been in my garden for the past 2 years. Started as a small plant like that, because you can see they drop the seeds, and I have some seedlings popping up. And then now it's a huge, probably 6 foot, eight, no, probably about an 8 foot plant in my garden. So in the past few weeks, I've been harvesting the leaves and making it as teas because I looked up the benefits, guys. The curry leaf plant benefits, and my mind was blown. High in antioxidants, high in anti-inflammatory properties. It battles, it fights cholesterol, blood sugar. It is extremely beneficial for hair growth, which I did not know. You guys know I'm into my hair oils now and making my different hair oils. Very, very beneficial for hair growth. It had like a tremendous list of health benefits. So I've been drinking it as teas. I actually made my first shrimp using a curry leaf plant the other day, and it is delicious. With curry leaf, how you have to use this is you have to, like, you harvest the leaves. If you're gonna cook with it, you like fry the leaves in the oil first, just like how we'd fry our garlic or our onions. I put the leaves in, like I take a handful of leaves and fry it in the oil with the garlic and the onions, and then I cook whatever. Like I made my shrimp, and it was just, even though the leaves taste so strong, when you cook it, it's just a delicious, it's like just a delicious flavor that it brings, almost like a umami flavor it brings to the dish. This morning I had some tea. I have some turmeric, some garlic, no, some turmeric and ginger that I harvested, and I made some teas, and I just put a hand leaf of the curry leaf in there too. So I had curry leaf tea with ginger and turmeric. So that should be really good for anti-inflammatory. Let's try this. Let's try this. Since this is a harvest video, oops. Let's try the berries. Let's try the berries together for the first time. So with the berries, I googled this, guys. The berries are edible, but the seeds are toxic. So if you're gonna eat the berries, only eat the flesh. So I'm gonna try one of these berries. Oh yeah, it's sweet, but it tastes a curry leaf flavor. And as I said, curry leaf, the flavor is. I'm taking out the seed, guys. I'm being careful to take out the seed. And I spit out the seed. So this is just a pulp. So it's sweet like a berry, but it tastes the flavor of the curry leaf. It's just like when I had the pimento leaf, the pimento berry. It tasted a strong pimento flavor, but with the sweetness of a berry. Not bad, not bad. But I'm not going to eat anymore just because the seeds are toxic and I don't know. Well, one more. It's a definitely a flavor, berry flavor. It's definitely a pleasant berry flavor, but it tastes the flavor of the curry. So that's nice. It's a nice fruit. I just threw some over there, so I'm probably gonna be growing some curry leaf there. All right, let's see what else we can harvest. Let's see what else is fruiting. The ackee tree. This is the little ackee tree that is right by the island that I chopped back a couple months back. You can see it's already trying to spring, but I don't want it to grow here. I want it to stay up here in this canopy. The ackee tree is loaded. I just harvested, I think about six. So enough for a small breakfast. So this is gonna be my first time eating ackee from this tree. I haven't cooked them yet, but let me just step back so you can see. These akis grow differently. The akis on the other tree, the shape is different. They're a lot bigger and rounder. These are more elongated and these grow in bunches. Whereas the akis on the other tree, they more grow scattered throughout the tree. The akis on the other tree probably have given me a good 3 or 4 crops of the year. But this is the very first time fruited, so I'm not sure how this is gonna be. All right, let me see what else is fruiting. Or Naseberry, we had that Naseberry accident where half of the tree got ripped down. So I lost probably close to half of the Naseberries, but we still have Naseberries on here. We do have animals who are trying to bite through the bags, as you can see, and are biting up the bit up that one Naseberry. But we still have some Naseberry fruit on there. And yes, guys, I was able to save the Naseberry that ripped down. This is a branch that ripped down. I tied it up with a piece of cloth. This one here, I didn't see it until after. So this branch I lost, but I was able to pick this branch up. Several naseberries fell off, but we do have that one. So that's still going, but not ready to harvest, of course. I've been harvesting loads of papaya, and thanks, I know a few of you had ordered papayas on my Etsy. I thank you guys. Loads of papaya, ready to harvest. That one I need to get. It looks like, yeah, that one I need to pick and let it ripen inside. Man, even though it's the fall, you would think that we don't can't grow any more callaloo, but these are all the same volunteers that I've been cutting back and eating. Give some of these leaves to the chickens. Yeah, when I clean it up, I'll give any bad leaves to the chickens. And it's not that they're really bad, it's just they got a little bit of frost burn. They were fine up to before the frost. So the callaloo's are still coming in, guys. You can cut everything back, just leave a couple leaf nodes. You can see some leaves coming up here. Those are gonna be big in another week. All right, look at this one. Cut them all the way down. Cut them all the way down. All right, switch over to the bok choy now. I know what I'll be eating for dinner today. The callaloo is gonna go in the freezer though. We just had callaloo this weekend, so don't want any callaloo again right now. But making some chicken later, and well, I think I was gonna be chicken and I was gonna do chicken and broccoli, but I think it's gonna be chicken and bok choy. Lots of bok choy. Let's go on the other side. I think this one wants to be pulled out. This one keeps going to seeds. I think I'm just gonna pull that one out, even though the little bees are enjoying it. And let's get this one. Oops. Oh wow, the bees are in it. All right, Mr. Bee, don't sting me. I'll leave one for you. Mr. B doesn't want me disturbing him. Guys, you can see we can just keep harvesting and harvesting from the same plants. That's how I do it. I don't pull out the whole plant. And everything that we're harvesting for the past month is volunteers, guys. And look at all these volunteers coming up. So I definitely won't need to plant anymore. Any seedlings. Same thing over here, guys. Volunteers are crazy coming up in different stages. See, those are all volunteers. Different stages of volunteers. See the big ones and the little ones coming up here. Volunteers. More volunteers here. Nice callaloo. Lots of bok choys that we're gonna get probably a few meals out of this. All right, I see some tomatoes right above the bok choy. Let's get those. Again, nothing that I planted a few weeks ago is ready yet. Lemon balm here. We have tomatoes all around. Everything is going really well. But everything that we're harvesting today, guys, these are all volunteers. These are the volunteer tomatoes that popped up. I wasn't sure what they were because I had planted some larger tomatoes here, but this is, these look like either Everglades or Sweet 1 Million. I can never really tell the difference. You guys let me know if these are or Sweet Everglades or Sweet 1 Million. Either way, they're very sweet. I've been eating them. And they're all very, very sweet. Several of them fallen. So far, the insects have not found them, so that's good. These leaves were nice and green, but this is all the damage from the cold. This is all damage from the cold. I've been cutting it back. Need to come back. You don't see the damage right away, guys. You see the damage like 3 or 4 days after the cold snap. And those 2 days that it fell down to the mid-30s really took a toll on some of my tomatoes and some of my veggies. It didn't bother the brassicas, so like my cabbages, my bok choys and stuff, didn't bother those. But the rest of the stuff, the tomatoes definitely got affected. Kind of makes me wonder, this is Florida, Central Florida. If it's this cold, if it's getting this much cold damage this early, what's going to happen in December? Or what's going to happen in January? January is normally the coldest month for us here. All right, so let's finish up these tomatoes. Finish up these tomatoes. I'm trying to think, what am I going to do with these tomatoes today? Maybe lunch. Call it the bok choy for dinner, tomatoes for lunch. But I love me some Everglades. You literally eat all year. They just keep fruiting and fruiting. Oh my gosh, I see a couple clusters down here. All right. Lots of sweet, sweet, sweet tomatoes. All right, ackee. I don't see anything. This is the ackee that's been literally fruiting for the past, I would say 4 or 5 months. At least 5 months I've been getting ackees from this. We only have a few ackees left. Been harvesting the past couple of weeks, like 1 or 2 a day. We're just about at the end, so I'm about to cut this ackee tree back. But right beside it, guys, we had harvested a ton of starfruit, and there are, from this angle, it looks like there are no starfruit. But when you look close, these are well hidden from the animals. When you look close, guys, this is loaded. Look at this. This is loaded with starfruit. Look at this. Let's see if we can find any to harvest. I think we can probably harvest this one. You know, as soon as I harvest them at this stage, you can actually start eating the, another one fell off. You can give the chickens this one. You can eat the star fruit at this stage, but I prefer for them to be tree ripened. But because of animals, we don't always have the luxury of tree ripened star fruit. But I just wanted to show you guys. Ooh, this one is nice. That one is ready. Yes. Let's get these two star fruit. And I'll be keeping an eye on these. This time, somehow, the animals have not discovered this. Normally, they they literally bite each one, but so far they haven't discovered them. I think it's the tree kind of camouflages very well. But look at this. We have loads of star fruit here. Look at that. It's crazy, 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 crazy. Right, girls? All right, let's add this to today's harvest. I just harvested one ripe one from here. This is a papaya tree. This is my octopus one that has all the different branches from it. So octopus is just beginning to ripen now. You can see right here. This one can be harvested now. This one is ready. This one is ready. At this point, you just leave it on the counter for 2 days and it just sweetens up over the next few days. 2, 3, 4 days, it'll be sugar sweet. So add this one in. And this one right here. All right, let's see what else we have. Guys, look at my cranberry hibiscus. This is one of the things I love about it. Not only is it good for your sugar, good for blood pressure, good for weight loss, delicious in salads, but guys, I get to enjoy these beautiful flowers as I walk through my garden. That's why I'll always have cranberry hibiscus. And this one just reseeded itself here. All the cranberry hibiscus I have this year reseeded themselves from last year. All right. No peppers. All those are seedlings coming up. But I see a monster over there waiting to be harvested. So, guys, look at this. This is one of my bananas in the side yard. I call this my Miramar banana. Some people say it's Cavendish. But let me show you what happened, guys. When you don't have consistent watering on any plant, say you go through a drought period and then you get a week of rain, this is what can happen. The fruit start to split. So this started happening way before the cold snap. Now the fruits are ripening, and it looks like you can see the animals are beginning to get this. So I'm gonna cut this whole branch down. We've been eating these green. They are delicious green. But I had a ripe one yesterday that we had picked green and then allowed it to ripen on the counter. Guys, it's so creamy, so good. So I'm gonna harvest this whole bunch. All these split ones and rotted ones, I'm just gonna leave on the ground here. I still have this other bunch. Oh, another thing is too, guys. You notice how some of these bananas, they look almost like a white look. They're not like the normal yellowing ripening look. You see how they look white? That is sunburn. So that's why whenever I have my bananas that are on the tree, I always like to leave some of the branches, like split the branch and let them kind of fall over it. Because this is what happens in Florida, in the Florida heat. You can actually get sunburn on the bananas. The bananas still taste good, but they just don't look as pretty. Versus the one right beside it, you can see I chopped the branches and let the branches hang over the bananas. That kind of protects them from the sunburn. So look at these, guys. Look how these are green. Hold on. Look how these are dark green and pretty. Dark green and pretty because I chopped the leaves and let the leaves hang over to shade it. Versus this one where I did try and chop some leaves, but most of it was still exposed. Anyway, let's take this bunch down. So that side is sunburnt versus this side is nice and dark green. Oops. Nice and green and pretty. No sunburn because this side is completely shaded. So learn something new here. All right, so let me take this branch down. Look at this cassava stick that I dropped is now a cassava plant. Ay, ay, ay. I tell you, the food wants to grow. You just have to take the time and grow the food. Oops. I don't want it to. I'm just gonna gently pull it down. Oh. I know this branch is got this is gonna be heavy for me to lift, so I don't want them to scatter all over. All right. Oi. All right, so let me show you what I'm gonna do with the ones that are bitten. Ah, nothing goes to waste. I'm gonna put the rest of one on for a minute and just cut all these bad ones off, and then I'll come back. I'll end up losing quite a bit. Even the ones that weren't bitten, if they were split, I'm not eating them. I'm gonna bury some in a trench around. You can, that's a good idea, guys. You can bury these things around your fruit trees, and they'll eventually break down over time and feed the roots, feed the plant, the potassium, the phosphorus, the magnesium, everything that's in the peels and in the banana. This is the other I have. Again, the other side, you can see none of these on the other side that were protected, split, but the ones that were exposed on the other side, the ones that were exposed, this is where all the loss was. I mean, we were eating from this side, but also this is where a lot of the loss took place. So definitely, it definitely pays to protect your bananas. Gonna feed a few of these split ones to the chickens, and then I'm gonna show you everything that we harvested. Gonna show you everything that we harvested, and that's it. I'm gonna leave these, a lot of these, some of these I'm gonna leave along the foot of the banana, because of the banana trees, because whatever animal, guys, that was pretty scary. That animal, whatever that was, it may be a raccoon back behind there, which isn't good because those are not supposed to be out that day in the day. And I saw two in the daytime yesterday in the front yard, so I have to be careful. But they're hiding, so that's a good sign. If they were out, it could possibly be rabies, but I'm not gonna go back there anyway. I'm gonna leave these here, whatever that animal is, to continue eating those. And this bunch I'm gonna take inside. These I'm gonna give to the chickens. These weren't bitten. They're split open, so I'd rather not eat them. Have more than enough. Hey girls. Hey girls. Enjoy breakfast. There you go. Some of these I'm gonna throw back under the banana trees so that whatever animal that was that's eating these, that was eating those, will, still find them, so they can stay away from my starfruit and my papayas and my other fruit toward the garden. I'm definitely gonna plant dig a hole, dig a trench in my veggie beds where I have my tomatoes and peppers, and plant some, bury some in the ground. These will break down and feed the soil. And then this I'm gonna take inside. Look at the other side, guys. Look at the other side. Oi! Look at the other side that was protected. You see? Nice and perfect. A few broken ones, few bitten ones, or broken ones up top. So I'm gonna take this bunch inside and let them finish ripening, and we're gonna have tons of ripe bananas. All these on the bottom, like the first two rows, I'm just gonna wash them, score them, freeze them, so we'll have green bananas for the next several months. And then the rest up here that are already ripening, we'll eat these two ripe. We're gonna hang these in the garage and eat these ripe. So we have our burro bananas. that are ripening nicely. For our bananas, we have our what may be Cavendish, but all I know that they're nice. We have our bananas. I have one papaya and a few more inside that I already harvested. I'm gonna cut up and freeze. And we have our bok choy or callaloo starting to quail now because of the sun. We have our starfruit and we have our little sweet 1 million. I'm pretty sure they're not Everglades. These are sweet 1 million tomatoes. So that's it for today's harvest. That's it for today's harvest. Every day we also harvest herbs. We cook herbs in every single meal. We have herbs for our teas. So that's it, guys. Hope this encourages you. My garden is under 4 years old, but as you can see, we have loads and loads of fruit. All right, guys, that's it for the video. Gonna wash these, take these inside now, and we are good to go.